Telling time is an important skill that all students should learn in order to become successful. Time can provide you with information about how to get to work, school, practice, important appointments, and bed on time. In order to learn how to tell time, you must remember some important hints. Number 1, the longer hand on a clock represents minutes. Number 2, the shorter hand on a clock represents hours. One way to remember this is that minute is a longer word, therefore it has to use a longer hand. If you look at this clock would read 3 o'clock, because the minute hand is a longer hand and it's pointing to 12, and the hour hand is a shorter hand and it's pointing to 3. Another important hint to remember is that whenever the minute hand is pointing to 12 and the hour hand is pointing to a number, like 4, you would say that it is 4 o'clock. Keep in mind that you only use the term o'clock when the minute hand is pointing to 12 and the hour hand is pointing to another number. Now it's time to practice. What time does this clock read? If you said 1 o'clock, then you were correct. Now it's time to practice. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Another important skill is reading half hours. On this clock, it reads 4:30 because the hour hand is in between the 4 and the 5, and you always look at the number to the right of the hour hand. This time it reads 10:30 because it's in between the 10 and 11. In addition, another important factor to take into consideration when telling time is minutes. When looking at this clock, each interval stands for 5 minutes. So if the minute hand was at the 1, then that would mean 5 minutes after the hour. If it was at the 2, that would mean 10 minutes after the hour. 3 would be 15 minutes, 4, 20, 5, 25, 6, 30, 7, 35 minutes, 8, 40 minutes, 9, 45 minutes, 10, 50 minutes, 11, 55, and 12 would mean that it went a whole 60 minutes, which is equal to 1 hour. In between each number, when telling minutes, is 5 minutes. So if the minute hand were to be on one of these dashes, then that would represent a single minute. So if the minute hand was on this one, then that would mean 1:04. Important numbers on the clock are the 12, 3, 6, and 9. These numbers represent quarters of the hour. Common phrases that are used when telling time are 10 after, which would mean that the minute hand is at the 2. A quarter after would mean that it's after that the minute hand is at the 3. Half past would mean that it's a half an hour into the hour, or like 2:30, 3:30, etc. A quarter till, which would mean that it's 15 minutes until the next hour. These phrases are used as abbreviations when telling time because it makes it easier than having to say the exact time.